Hello everybody, GL1 here, and today I'm going to do a show on female Transformers. And as happens many times, I have a lot more of them than I realized. So I have 25 of them, and I'm going to go through them in not really a particular order, but I do have them grouped together. And I'll start right here with Wingblade. So this is Wingblade from the Cyberverse. This is 2014, and it has spinning blades so she can vertically lift off, and has some cool looking face paint. And she's a jet. You can see that. So she's going to be like a Harrier jet where she can lift straight up and then take off. And then I have a more fancy version of her in the Generations version. Now the Generations, this is the 30th anniversary. Generations came out in 2016. You can see the face paint is much more elaborate, and real big sword. It's even got a little bit of a clear plastic in there. The Generations Transformers I'm going to show you today, all of them came with a comic book. I left the comic book in the package, never looked at it, and put all of them together in a box and put them somewhere. Don't know where they are. But you can see, look at how she can tilt her wind blades so that she can customize her direction of vertical liftoff. And then you can see she turns into a jet as well. And you can see that that's much more detailed with the clear plastic. And yes, she drops her sword rather easily. All right, but, definitely a step up in the figure design. And let's see if I can get it. She also doesn't stand up too easily. She always kind of sits back on these heels and doesn't sit. She often falls. Okay, enough of that. All right. Something else that's kind of neat is this one, Flame War. This is from Transformers Prime from 2010. And this goes for like $50. If you try to get it now. I mean, maybe some people are selling it for less, but I saw it for as much as that. But, it's just a little tiny Transformer. And I have actually quite a few of the Transformers Prime versions of the figures in this small, like 2-inch figure version. And then I have actually just a lot of small Transformers that I haven't not really featured on the show that are not mini-cons. That's a whole nother thing. All right. I'm going to show you Chromia. This is Chromia from the Netflix show War on Cybertron and 2020. And highly detailed figure. I mean, it's got like, a little bit of like smoky, dirt, like, blaster dirt on her. She has quite a big blaster herself. And yeah, it comes apart and you can change the blaster and make it smaller. And you can reorient how things are stuck together. It's like a suppressor on there. And head can look all around. And it forms into a really neat looking, odd sort of motorcycle vehicle. I'll transform this one at the end of the show. I'll just pause and I'll transform them. This one here, now this Chromia Generations 2019, I like this one a lot too, but I am not going to transform it. I don't remember where, but something was very delicate about it, and it broke, and I had to glue it. Oh, it's up in here. See, can you see that? I think I did shoe goo up there. But you see that joint broke because it's just very delicate. But this forms a really unusual motorcycle. You can see this is the front wheel, and it's like a real spacey motorcycle. And then, those are the back wheels. They actually fit together. But she's a really neat Transformer, and I just don't want to risk having her break again. I really like it. And I like most of my toys in the robot form anyway. All right, so another one, highly detailed, is Elita-1. This is War on Cybertron, the Netflix show from 2020. And here she is. And, all right, so she has this pistol that's clear, and I'm always worried I'm going to lose it. But I believe this is the one, yeah, where this comes off. See that? And she can actually stand on here, sort of like a, like a hoverboard. All right, so yeah, she can hoverboard around on that. So that's really neat, huh? Elita-1. And I think she's Optimus Prime's girlfriend. I mean, they don't have, difficult to understand what the whole motivation is behind having female Transformers and male Transformers. I mean, they gave her a form that you can actually see is like a female human being. They have sparks, which are like souls, which give them personality, and they can live and die with their spark. Their spark can be transferred into another robot or transformer. But how they reproduce, I believe, is through the cube, the transformer cube. So to give them actual physical features of a gender is, I don't know. I guess it makes them identifiable. And people, a lot of people might like that, but, some people might not. All right, so this is Elita-1, Power of the Primes 2018. And when I got this, I had no idea what I was getting. So as usual, I find things in dark places in stores that no one goes to. I find stores that are in places that, a lot of people are shopping, or it's showing up someplace like a Marshall's or a Ross or TJ Maxx, or who knows, just stuff. And I believe I got this for $10. And I think this is going for like $60 now. As well it should. Now, this is Elita-1 as a core. So here she is as a full-fledged action figure, okay, and you can see she turns into a jet, whereas this Elita-1 turns into some kind of real cool car, okay, like space car. It actually looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi's car in Revenge of the Sith, where he was catching Anakin when they were, it was yellow, but remember he fell from the sky and he caught Anakin. That's what that looks like to me. All right, so this turns into a jet, but that's not all. You see these spring loads here? See how that clicks? If you'll remember from one of my other shows that I did on knockoffs, this becomes the core of a 5-transformer, 5-part. So you can take this, you fold her head in. There's a bigger head. Let's see if I can get to this easily. It folds out. Pretty sure this chest opens up. This is usually how all these things transform. Well, inside here, all right, maybe I'll get to that later. Inside here is a larger head, okay? And what she does is, here's one of those transformers. This is Inferno. So she becomes the center core, and then you can add on other transformers for her arms. So this one has a motorcycle and a helicopter, and then a police car and a rescue vehicle. Well, you can take all these vehicles off on the arms and legs and attach them to Elita-1. And I have other vehicles too that you can attach to Elita-1, but I don't have enough to do all of the core figures that I have. I have more core figures than I have arms and legs. So, and I like Elita just as, just the big Elita-1 figure. She comes with these weapons, but she also comes with big feet. And actually, she came with these pink feet, pink versions of they're pinkish, of these feet that come on and off. So you could take these feet, and the feet can also become hands. So they're universal, and these come off. And so then you could stick those in the bottom of, your Elita combiner transformer. And so she came with her own feet. Okay, so that's that transformer, which is really cool. And what inspired me to do this show was this Arcee. So this is the new Arcee from Rise of the Beasts, and she's a motorcycle in this, and you can take off this wolf. So she combines with a wolf, and there she is. She actually is a motorcycle, and then this comes out, her sword, and then you see this flips around, and that becomes the front of the motorcycle, and then I think this becomes the back. This becomes the front wheel. I might have that wrong, but you know, this is why I don't transform things on the show. Actually, this is the back, so, and that's the front. Yeah. Okay. But anyhow, it's going to all transform together and form a motorcycle. In fact, you can look at the box. So, on the back of the box. Oh, no, I was right. Okay, so the black one, yeah, that becomes the front and the back. And so that's what it looks like that. Okay. All right, and that's what the wolf looks like. Okay, so that is Arcee for the movie. Now, I have this Arcee, Robots in Disguise, Transformers Prime Arcee in the box, and you can see I got it for $8. Well, I have another one that I got for $6, and I want to open this so bad, but every time I look, it keeps going up in value. It's worth like $170 in the box right now, and I have two. So do I open one and play with one? Well, they made the choice easier for me. I don't have to open either. It's not that I intend to sell it, but it's so much money to just open it up. So they did come out with one, the same version of her as a non-transforming action figure. And, you know, like I said, this is how I want to play with them anyway, is when they're in robot form. So this is her, and you can see that from the box. So it's a great version of her. So I don't have to open it. But man, has that been tempting over the years, because I've had that like 10 years. All right. And what also came with Transformers Prime, I didn't even know I had this. When I was looking for one thing, I found this. This is Arachnid, and this is all from, let's see, I'll put the date on here. Oops. No, I didn't put the date on there. 2010, though. All right, so she is real feisty, and she doesn't like the Autobots or the Decepticons, wants to get rid of Megatron and all the Autobots and Decepticons, and she's also a mass murderer. So, I mean, in not so many words, that's what they described. So, yeah. So, yeah, I got this for like $10 from Marshall's. So... And this one's only worth about $50. So sometimes I do think about opening. Well, now that I found it, I forgot I even had it. I do think of opening it. I'm not there yet. All right, this is from 2004. This is Thunderblast, and this is a really cool Transformer. She turns into a speedboat. See that? And she has these clear missiles that fire, but it's really detailed for a speedboat. And then this big gun she can let go of that, and then that will mount up here on the speedboat. So actually, and it folds in. Yeah, this is cool. So many things are neat on this. So let's see, get that missile to come out. It should just fire, but maybe because it's been in there so long. Foiled again. Let me pause this. Hang on. Okay, so it's like this, and then it mounts here. This off. Okay, so that can mount up here, and then it has like missiles, right? But this is let's see if I can transform this fast enough. It makes a really, or at least if you can get the gist of it. So these fold down. These feet fold in somehow. But anyway, okay, I'm not going to transform the whole thing, but you get the gist. I mean, it really looks like a boat, so that's really cool. And then this, yeah, folds down and closes like that. And then you can put the rockets on the side. I think I have to back fold these legs. But in any case, this uses the CyberKey technology. So this is a Cybertron transformer, and you would get a CyberKey with all your Cybertron transformers, and then you push that in, and then that would pop up. So like that, push that in, pop up, then you put your missile in there, and it's supposed to fire, and for some reason it's not letting go, but anyway, that's how it's supposed to work. Well, at least it's not easy to lose the missile. Okay, so I'm going to move over here, before I move over to the right, move over to the left here. I got more Arcees. So this little Arcee, this was like a $5 Arcee, and here she is in robot form, and she turns into a car. The only thing about it is these legs are supposed to in order to convert nicely, the legs are supposed to push in a little bit more, and they don't. So that's frustrating. But I think if I can do this, it's got the ball joints that just comes apart, and you can just push it back together. So you just twist that. And for $5, it's kind of cute, you know, not bad. See, the problem is I can't get this together. What should happen is these pegs should slide in further, and they don't. I don't want to push on it so hard that it breaks, but they don't go in farther. So, and then this gun mounts here, and then there's your little doors close here. Wait a minute, like that to cover that. I mean, you just have to work with it, but you get the gist. It's gonna look something like that, so this is another version of Arcee. This is from the Bumblebee Cyberverse from 2021, and you can see this is also a car, but it's not a convertible, and it has a front. It's kind of like the Jeep, and then she's gonna fold all up underneath here, and she's got these spacey wheels, where you don't see the whole wheel. So it adds to subtracts wind resistance. You get, when you cover your wheel like that, you prevent wind resistance on the wheel, so you get better aerodynamics. And then I have this version of RC. This is Generation, so this came with a comic book, 2014. And then here she is, and of course, all the Generations ones have great articulation. She has a couple of blasters on her hips that come off. Great leg articulation. Kind of neat, kind of like a 1950s robot with the boxy chest. If you remember, like the Jetsons, I think the Maid was like a gray female robot and had like a boxy chest like that. And you could see it turns into a car, kind of a cool looking little car. See, and there's your seat in there. So that's going to all fold underneath there. And then you have these really cheap wheels. They could have done better on the wheels, I think. And then you have RC here, Bumblebee RC, real nice, all right, version here. And then you could see the much more detail to the face. You got these hollow wheels in here. And what I didn't remember is that I already had one of these, and so I was out, and for $10 I saw this, and I bought another one, and then I realized, I already have one. But anyway, there she is in the box, and you can see this is what she looks like when she turns into a double-wheeled motorcycle. And if any of you see the new Flash movie, which not a lot of people are seeing, Batman's motorcycle has those double wheels, and what they do is one kind of rises up higher than the other in order to steer. So that's kind of cool. All right. Now I'm going to move over to the right, and I'm going to go through the Beast Wars and Beast Machine Transformers I have. And over here I have Air Razor, who the character has been around since 2005. Actually, no, I think it was back in Beast Wars 1996. Yeah, but so this one I got like a year ago. And, you could see her in the Rise of the Beast movie. She doesn't look like this. She starts out kind of looking like this. You can see she's a hawk. But she ends up getting much more robotic looking. And then her head, it folds in there, and she's got big wings. And, you can see it's going to turn into a hawk. And these are really nice transformers. They really do a great transformation of looking like the animals. The newer ones are so much better than the older ones. Although some of the old ones are also really great. And I'm going to show you that. This is Black Arachnia Beast Machines. I've had this since 1999. So this is a really neat Black Widow transformer. And even these are a little bit separate. These pieces here, see, they can close over, and then she just has the 2 eyes, or they can open up, and then she has 6 eyes. Some spiders have more than that. Some spiders have less. All right, but you can see, so you can see she's just going to turn. This is going to be her head when she goes into spider mode. This is going to be her head, and look, when you move these, that's going to be her mouth parts that bite, and then this is going to flip around. It's going to fold, and then this is going to. You know what? It's been a while since I've transformed this, but this is going to turn around and become the back and cover the head back there. But I think it's just cool to really see that. Look, you can move one, and then one side moves, and move the other side moves. So that's a pretty creepy and cool transformer. All right, and another Black Arachnia from back in the day is this animated one from 2005, and I didn't even know that until looking it up today. I just saw it back then, I guess, and bought it. But she's got all her arms and legs. You can see she's got the Black Widow symbol here, like on a real spider. And then this she has, so she can grab onto things, and then you push a button, and then it pulls itself up. It ratchets, so I'll show you that like this. And then it pulls it up. And not only that, but you can open and close it and grasp things. So usually I have her just hanging actually on display. I have this around something hanging, and then this pegs into her back. That's this one. And then that just stays there. All right. So good articulation also. You see the head and the eyes. So, all right. So I think that's a really neat figure. And then when they re-released, well, you know what? I'm going to go back in time first. All right. So then 1996, Beast Wars, Black Arachnia transformed from a regular spider. Here is Black Arachnia that came out like a couple years ago, okay? So this is her in spider form. This is about a $20 version of Black Arachnia. You can still probably find this on clearance. It's quite a nice figure. The individual legs move a bit, so you can see that they move. And yeah, and she has the Black Widow symbol, sort of like a Black Widow symbol on the back. Okay, so this is the inexpensive version, but she morphed on the show and became a transmetal, which made her a lot more powerful. And this is the transmetal Black Arachnia, really neat looking. You still have that grappling hook, spider grappling hook. This one, the way it works is it's spring loaded, so you squeeze that and it's like the mouth parts. And I believe, this pegs in and becomes her mouth parts when she's in spider form. But I have the little band on there so I don't lose that. But then that opens up, and then you push the sides and it pulls it in. So, yeah. Okay, so look at all those legs back there and see that all the eyes. So the mouth parts are going to go underneath that. She's got rockets on her. See how shiny it is, and there's the beast symbol there. And actually that flips around. I think that flips. turn that, yeah, all the way around and there. And that becomes, I can't tell what that is. I think it looks like a spider or something in there. She was always, you know, a little bit Decepticon and a little bit more Autobot. The Silver Bolt, the wolf, fell in love with her, a flying wolf, and she fell in love with him, and she became even more good. Now, when this action figure came out, on the show, her chest is more exposed. And when they came out with the toy, they didn't want to come out with something too graphic, so they put this metal shield over it. And you're going to see what I mean with the masterpiece version of Black Arachnia, which is like oh, gotta go get that. Okay, so as I was saying, the masterpiece version was like $130. And you can see it's, this is the way it was in the computer graphics, and the Transmetal version was not that dissimilar from this. So this is an adult collectible because it's expensive. You know, so they made it more true to the computer graphic animated cartoon. This is a really nice figure, just the articulation. When I was reading about it, debating whether to get it, they said that, you know, all these joints, even though they look delicate, they're made to be very durable and to last for thousands of transformations. So I don't transform it that often. I just kind of sit it on a shelf, and then her weapon pegs in there, and she shoots, you know, like a sort of a boomerang-looking missile. I got this for like $35 on eBay, so super lucky there. And it comes with that wall-hanging web. So you can take this and you see you can hang it on the wall, which is what I do, and then you can adjust the web, and then you can she can grasp onto this, and you can also put one of the arachnid figures, Black Arachnia figures, with their grappling hooks. You know, you can connect it to the web and have a couple of them spiders on there. All right, so that is that one. All right, and I've been saving for the last Transformers here. From the planet Velocitron, I have Override. Now, I just got a discounted new Cybertron Universe Override. So this is the legacy version. So this is meant to be, you know, like sort of the definitive version of her, right? And there she is in car version and Autobot version. And on Velocitron, she was the fastest Transformer. And I remember in Transformers Cybertron, she was racing everybody and beating everybody in the race. All right, so this is the original from 2005 Override. And I always liked this Transformer, but I remember it being a little bit tricky to transform. And this one also uses a cyber key. So let's see where I place that. Okay, so here's the cyber key, and what it does is you just stick this right back here, and it allows her to have these guns going forward. Now, when this came out, Transformers were doing some experimenting with automatic transformation using springs. So it would partially transform on its own. And there's other toys that have come out in the past that have tried this technology rather unsuccessfully. It is a little bit difficult because sometimes things have to tab in a certain way to hold the springs in. But this was a little bit better. So, all right. So this, I know, see, it goes back like that. Let's see how I haven't transformed this in years. But there's, you see, there's like a springs in here. And then this arm springs out, see? Just springs out. And then this folds back, and then the leg falls off. Okay, got that leg back on. It was just a ball joint. All right, so the foot, and like typical, the foot part goes out there, and then there's a heel that comes out. And I know this is in some way, it's gotta, yeah, these have got to come together closer. Let's see how they do that. Like this. Okay. And all right, and then there she is. Why isn't this rotating? There, okay, a little tight there. All right, and so there she is in robot mode. She has elbows that bend. So actually, pretty good as far as the springiness. And then this can become a weapon that she can hold. Everybody, unfortunately, has to have weapons in the world of Transformers because nobody leaves anybody alone. You know, it's always Autobots versus Decepticons. So, all right. So, if you'll remember my episode on Havoc's machines, I'm going to look up which episode that is because Havoc's machines was a toy that was made by MGA, which are the same people that give you Bratz, LOL dolls, and Rainbow High. And they made this set of Havoc's machines that was spring-loaded, like 7 or 8 different spring-loaded ships that transform, and the springs pop all the time. And if you want to see that show and see what went wrong, because it's a really cool toy, but it didn't sell well, and I really think that's one of the reasons, is it just the function of it was difficult. So I'm going to look that up for you to tell you which show I had that on. Okay, so that was show 130, so quite a while ago, but it's a good show. A lot of people saw that show and seem to have enjoyed it. Actually, it's like over 4,000 people have enjoyed that show. So anyway, if you want to see spring loading, and I show some other things that also have spring loads and stuff like that, what's similar, what's different. So this is the new override, and I haven't transformed it yet, but I know this comes off because I had to put that on. And if it's like every other Transformer, they just kind of open like that, and the feet go down, and this probably folds up in some way, and maybe in, and then down and up and then in, like that. And then maybe she has the arms. So it's similar to the other override in transformation, and then these come up. And then this is going to go down. That's going to bring her head forward. So, and that's how we do things without instructions, because we just always, it's a puzzle, right? You want to see if you can figure out the puzzle. That's what I do. So yeah, those go in there. I'm going to have to work with it a little bit, but okay, that just pushes in. There. Okay, so she pushes in like that, and different coloring on the face, and then these, you just move them forward. See how things have changed, though? I got this clearance for like $17, but the original price was $25, and I'm sure the old one was less than $25. It probably was like $12. Now I know it's years later, but still, the point is, you get it's larger, it's spring loaded, it's got the cyber key. All of that makes it really cool. And generations, right? Like this is supposed to be the definitive version of it. And is it really, or was it just awesome just the way it was originally? They're both great. I like them both. I mean, this is nice colors and everything. But this is just very unique, really, the way that it, with the springs and how it looks and how it operates, and those move down. So she's a really cool looking Transformer. Now, I was reading about this, and originally, in the Japanese cartoon with this, it's a male robot, but they felt like there weren't enough female robots in America in the Transformers, so they made her into a female character. And there definitely are not that many female. I mean, I have several here, but there's so many more male figures. So it is kind of cool to see that they're starting to make more female figures, at least character-wise. Because I mean, male and female. What does it really mean when you're robots, right? But I guess it's just nice to be inclusive with all the different kinds of characters that you can have. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Certainly was a task gathering all these from all over the place in boxes and on displays and getting them together for you. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you soon. Take care. All right, so I transformed the Chromia from the Netflix 2020 and the Thunderblast boat. So let's show you how that is. Here's the Chromia, kind of a really cool modern looking space car. And I also transformed the Air Razor for you. And I think everything else I kind of just left the way it was, but here you go, just an overview. All right, there you go.